So welcome back everybody to LiveStream under the Moonshine number 307. This is part 15 of the letter. We're picking up right where we left off with Marianne, who in the last episode had went to the bar after a long day at the mansion, helping them move and dealing with, Hannah and Luke moving into their new mansion. And she had went to the bar for a much needed chill evening, and she decided to take the what do they say, with alcohol. I need something to basically feel me out, make me, she was worn out, she was tired, you need to take the buzz off, I guess, and went to the bar and got plastered at the bar more than she had been plastered in a long time. And she ended up seeing the bartender talking to Ash. Ash, of all people, was there asking the bartender about the owner of the mansion, Luke. And, trying to get some information about that. She kind of heard Ash's name and interjected herself into the conversation. And, Ash had ended up giving her his card in case she had any information she wanted to divulge about Luke, because she's trying to get information on him for his own needs. So anyway, with that, guys, she had ended up crashing, I believe, on like the couch in the bar, and told the bartender that she was going to crash, and he said, okay, no problem, I'll wake you up when I close up the bar. So here we are, guys, and she's having yet another nightmare. This will be the second one in 2 days. We had another big, long, vivid nightmare last night in episode 14, part 14. So here we are, guys. This is Hannah, or what she thinks of as Hannah, and her ex-lover, Lorraine, who I guess she thinks they look kind of alike, but they are kind of fused into one in her nightmare, into one evil, hideous mess. And the way they talk is absolutely terrifying. Let's go ahead and get back into this and see what she's dreaming of tonight.
Oh, Marianne! How long have you been standing there, dearie?
Yeah, man, that's so freaky.
Come join us, Marianne. We won't bite.
Right. Yeah. You look very lovely. Look at those eyes.
Unless you ask, that is.
We won't bite unless you ask, that is. Not that I can get much sleep to begin with. Ooh, she is having some doozy nightmares. So now it's a couple of days later. It's on Friday morning now, the 28th of October. And Marianne asks herself, do people ever have the feeling that they're working on something they really enjoy, but still it just eventually tires them out? Because honestly, I've been feeling like this.
You have certainly exceeded expectations, Marianne. Everything looks so marvelous, and in such a short time, too.
Though moments like these make all the hard work worth it. Definitely.
Well, I can't take all of the credit. People have certainly been enthusiastic about the idea of working on the right mansion.
Yeah, I think Marianne has a big-time crush on Hannah, for sure.
There won't be any more problems unless Mr. Wright has any more objections about the second bedroom.
Oh, no. We proceed with that room as planned.
Okay.
I already agreed to him having his greenhouse and his vineyard and his stables. He may as well let me have this one thing.
And we're only about halfway done, but the honest satisfaction of a client's face is enough to push me through. Let's face it, in between my exasperation at Mr. Wright's antics and her, I've been burning the candles on both ends. I can't even close my eyes without seeing a dead girl's face. Isn't that the truth? Dead girl. Dead. She's dead. So Lorraine is obviously dead. I have to keep reminding myself that, burying my feelings as deep as they've buried her body, 6 feet under. I shouldn't waste so much time on someone who's supposed to be gone. I've wasted so many years thinking about her already. There should be no need to bother myself with the dead. when I should be bothering myself with the living. Too bad the living are usually so complicated, if not more, than ghosts of the past.
But don't you have a party?
Yes. But Luke's just being a sweetie, you see.
A sweetie.
That friend he's visiting. He's having marital problems and he's just trying to cheer him up.
It's even more complicated when the living in question is a pair of rich and famous socialites that are way past their honeymoon phase. And I've been somehow roped into being a relationship counselor here.
They've been married for a long time and they've hit a... how do they say it? A rough patch. His wife has a drinking problem and can be very neglectful. The poor thing really does his best to be a good husband.
Well, look at her concern with her finger up by her mouth and the eyes, the innocent looking eyes, the concerned looking eyes. The art's fantastic. And again, the music is really well fitting as well.
But it's never enough for her.
Oh boy. Never is, right? It never is. People always want more. People always think the grass is greener.
Sometimes I think it's the years. Maybe it's been so long that they've lost that romantic spark.
Yeah, that can happen.
What do you think?
If I'm going to be completely honest, I need to ask. This is about you and Mr. Wright, isn't it?
Haha. Well, talking about their friends when it's really about her.
Suppose it is. What would you tell me?
Then, I tell you it's none of my business. I tell you that I don't want to meddle. But, if the troubled husband with the neglectful wife asked me for my honest opinion, I'd say that he shouldn't base his happiness and his self-worth on someone else.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Maybe he should try being independent for a while. See what it's like when he isn't trying to please someone else and doing things for himself. Everyone's supposed to be their own man or woman, right? A bit of breathing room never hurt anyone. We shouldn't let our fear control our lives.
Why she thinks I'm a single woman, or why she thinks a single woman like me would be the best source of relationship advice is beyond me. Still, I talk and answer to the best of my abilities. And without realizing it, I'm already pouring out a part of me that I thought were long gone. I'd like to believe my own words will be of some help to Miss Wright. If I'm honest though, they are of some help to me, like some weight has been taken off my shoulders. Lorraine.
I really should handle what's left of the work.
You won't be attending the party? Oh, you really must, Marianne.
And the weight of what happened to her hasn't left me yet, did it? Maybe.
I'll try to stay in chat. Maybe grab a few bites and a drink, but I can't be around for the entirety of the event. My apologies. Busy, busy, busy.
You must stay a while. I'd love for you to meet some of my friends, and they're ever so excited to meet you.
And we already know what happens if you've been following this visual novel, guys. We already know what happens at the party, and it's probably a good thing that Marianne didn't stay for the party, or she would just see a lot more drama, because we know what happens at this party with Luke and the way he gets accused of knocking up one of their friends. Yeah, the friends that she's mentioned. Yeah, he's accused of knocking up that gal. Yeah, it's a mess. And definitely a drama-filled party for sure.
You need to say hello to the Lees, at least. If it wasn't for them, I'd never even heard of you.
Maybe it's about time I changed that.
We'll see. So, if I can be excused?
Certainly. You'll have to excuse me as well. I must attend to the party before any early birds arrive. Because, believe me, they will throw a fuss if things aren't ready, even when they're not supposed to be here until an hour later.
Though I shouldn't dwell on the dead, I shouldn't callously forget about them too. Saying that I have work left to do is an easy enough excuse to make, however. I know how other people see me. They see someone so obsessed with her craft that she would easily miss things like a party for it. Well, nice excuse, I guess. Outside the parlor, people hurry about here and there in preparation for the Wrights' grand housewarming party. None spare me a glance as I slip past them, each working on their own appointed roles and not daring to slack off while they work for what is probably the most powerful couple in Luxmore. I make it into the kitchen with ease, the wine cellar being my final destination. Uh-oh. But when is a great task ever simple? Probably never. And this is a great task, isn't it? My greatest one yet that is worthy of being called a quest. I'm not acting as Marianne McCullough, the professional interior designer, when I choose to lie about being too busy for a party. I am Marianne McCullough, a lawful neutral cleric with 9 points in wisdom and 8 in charisma. That's too funny. Just thinking of it like that makes it a bit cheesy. But it helps with my fear. It helps me overcome the insane thought that I'm actively seeking out something that has been plaguing me for years. I might face my worst nightmare, or I might see nothing and find my self-imagined grand quest fall flat. And who would have thought that the gatekeeper to my final quest would be someone I thought would be a valuable ally?
Schnell! Hurry up, you snails! We are on a deadline and you are wasting my time!
The butler comes from the cellar and into the kitchen, tailored by a couple of others. People who I assume are most likely chefs and bartenders. He raises a brow, seeing me just standing there by the hatch, by the trap door. It almost looks like he's going to throw me out for being in the kitchen without his permission. But then he motions for the others to disperse and familiarize themselves with their surroundings. Meanwhile, he continues to just stand there, preventing entry into the darkness beyond.
What are you doing here, Fraulein? This is not the place for guests or in an architect right now. I request you leave.
Wow.
I was just looking around for any last-minute things, yes?
She wants to go in that wine cellar.
Yes, you have been doing that a lot. Looking around, snooping about. Now is not the time for such things. If you're not careful, people might think you are up to something.
He means he might think he's up to something. And the look he gives me says, this is almost chilling. If life was a game book, he'd probably be the true neutral warlock guarding the treasure room. A difficult opponent to beat with 9 points in wisdom and 8 in dexterity.
Well, I'm not done yet. I actually need to go into the wine cellar. Just need a quick go at the place. So just don't mind me. I'll be out of your hair soon enough.
Go outside, enjoy the party. Bask in the praise and adulation they will no doubt shower you with when the madam speaks highly of you. Surely you've had enough of this stuffy old kitchen by now. You do not want to cause trouble.
I like his accent, I gotta say that.
Both the Bratwurst and Hannah want this to be perfect. It would be a disservice and a disrespect to toe out of line and risk it being anything otherwise.
I mean, he has a point.
And more importantly, I will be blamed for any failure that happens tonight.
His intervention almost turns me away. Maybe this is a sign I'm not meant to seek Lorraine out. So somehow she thinks Lorraine's in the cellar? But...
Please, it's really important.
15 minutes. 9, 10 minutes. Any longer and I'll pull you out of there myself.
No,
The
he's...
Bratwurst will be furious if he thinks anyone is touching his precious wine without his permission.
Well, he is gonna let her go down there. Christ.
Thank you. This seriously means a lot.
He steps aside begrudgingly. And at this point, it looks like there's no turning back. Alright, the cellar greets me ominously as I descend. The space feels smaller with a lot more bottles lining the wall compared to before. And knowing what might be waiting for me here makes things even worse. Yeah, this is already creepy. The mirror that had been moved from the study is my goal. I did not return to it after my initial discovery, but the thought of Lorraine, how much I want to see her again, even if it's just for one more time, keeps coming back to my mind. As I walk through the cellar, I have to stop when I feel something crunch beneath my feet. Uh-oh. Yikes. Except in a wine glass. Whatever few bottles were left behind here are now nothing but glass under my heels. Perhaps dropped by one of the many chefs and bartenders the butler had escorted through here before. And it made a downright mess, with a red slick pooling from the remnants of a good drink. With how dark this place is, a person with a dark enough imagination can easily mistake it for blood. I can't help but think it is, despite the easy logical explanation that had come to my mind, only because I know what I'm about to do. It's merely a momentary distraction as I continue to the end of the cellar where the mirror stands. Propped up on the far wall, it gleams innocently while pretending to be a simple and ordinary mirror. But she knows better, huh? How morbid to think this thing can show a person their deepest, most desperate desires, and then twist it into the image so dark. That's what I've seen, or that's what I had seen that day. Though I heard Lorraine many times, I had only seen her here within this frame. I wonder if people have discovered it before. How many were wasted away in front of it, enamored, and how many were frightened away by what they saw? Yet as I stand before it now, there's nothing. I can barely see my own reflection in this darkness.
How does this even work? Mirror, mirror on the wall? Something? Anything?
This reminds me, mirror, mirror on the wall. She's just trying to get it to show a reflection or show an image of, like, Lorraine, her ex-lover. It kind of reminds me of that Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire where he's like, "Go, web, go! Up, up, and away, web! Go, web, go!" And he can't get the web to shoot out. Nothing. Touching its surface doesn't make it magically activate or anything like that. There is no sudden surge of power, and I am not suddenly granted sight. It stays exactly what it is. A mirror. Was Lorraine's appearance in the mirror all some sort of a fever dream? Am I really that burdened with guilt and despair that my own mind would eat itself in my stress and have me hallucinate such things? Either way, just going here on some crazed obsession for a girl long gone must warrant me a trip to the doctor. Yeah, I'd have to say you said it right there. I think you might need to get some counseling there, Marianne. Already, I feel ill. After a few more minutes in the hopes that something would change, I turn around to leave. Yeah, but the mirror is gonna flash on, isn't it? I can just go back upstairs like nothing ever happened. Perhaps drop by the party for some, devour. And then go home and collect myself. Besides, Miss Wright is expecting me, and I'm...
Going to leave me again then, are you?
Oh boy. I stop in my tracks, but I don't turn back. As much as it pains me, I do not turn back. If I'm just hearing her again, desperately delusional, and I look back and see nothing, I don't want to give myself any false hope. But when I feel fingers around my wrist pull at me, I do look back in shock. Yeah, this is so creepy. My first thought is, how in God's name is this even possible? And there she is. That's gotta be Lorraine. And the second is, Lorraine. Her hands are cold.
Are you that mad at me that you're just going to ignore me, Marianne?
Wow. I don't know what to say, and I can only stare at her in wonder. She stands there in the mirror, with only her arm extended outward for my sake. I look at the hand still holding my wrist, and when she sees me looking at it, she moves it so that our hands are intertwined and our fingers weave together. Seeing her there and feeling her touch meant that I'm not crazy, though however impossible and unexplainable this all is to me right now. It just takes my breath away. Pulling her out from there is tempting. I can imagine doing so with ease. We can be together again, Lorraine and Marianne, like nothing has ever happened. But that would all be a great big lie, wouldn't it?
What? Pack out your tongue? Don't just look at me like that. Say something.
Even if this thing were some magical portal that could bring back the dead, it doesn't erase anything. Just looking at her, still a young teenager while I'm already a grown woman, it serves no other reason than to break the illusion that blinds me. I've seen her twice now, always behind the mirror. If this is real, if this isn't some kind of delusion, then why can she only exist behind the glass?
Yeah. You have no idea how happy I am to see you.
Yeah, she doesn't look very happy.
It's been so long.
You don't look happy.
Yeah, exactly.
I really am happy. But at the same time, I can't help but think about what happened. To you.
Exactly.
And what does that mean? What are you saying?
She gives me this peculiar look. And before my eyes, she moves to step out of the mirror. Oh shit. In turn, I wrench my hand from her and take a step back, as if I'm afraid of her.
I don't know how this is possible. But whatever this is, it isn't real.
You know, like she's halfway smart. She hasn't lost all her sanity, right?
You can't be real.
I'm right here, aren't I? What other proof do you need?
No. I see you. I hear you. I feel you. But even with all that, you can't be real. You just can't. I saw your body. I helped bury you.
Damn.
You're dead.
And a deep hurt crosses her face, and it just breaks my heart in two, seeing her wear that expression.
Burying me wasn't the only thing you did. Don't you dare lie. But I'm going to be the bigger woman, aren't I? Let bygones be bygones. I'll forgive you, as long as you stay with me, Marianne. That's why you came down here, right? To find me?
Well, that was the plan. I came down here looking for her, for closure. But this isn't just closure. This is something else entirely. Yeah, for sure. I didn't think I would be forced to make such a choice. I need to move on or I want to stay. Well, again, guys, I mean, as much as we might want to say I want to stay, we know that Marianne loves, or did love, Lorraine, but we also know that Marianne is pretty savvy and pretty smart, and she's like, you're not real, this can't be real. And she knows she's dead as well. So I think the more plausible thing that Marianne would say here is I need to move on. So we're going to go with that. And the story got updated. Closure. That's all I came here for. Whatever this is, it might as well all be a devil's trick. And I might as well make some use of it, right? I say nothing at first, the fear of angering whatever phantom this actually is. I take Lorraine's hand and bring it to my lips, pressing a kiss into her knuckles. And she takes it as some sort of invitation to pull me along, to step back into the mirror until only her arm is extended again. Now you better be careful if she's going to try to pull you into that mirror, whatever that mirror is, or wherever she's actually at, at or from. Hell, probably.
I should have been more honest back then, both to you and myself. I know it's too late. I'm sorry.
But the thought of being with the dead did not agree with me. Not one bit.
I can't stay with you.
Achievement unlocked. Goodbye, my first love.
So what? You're going to leave me for some old trophy wife?
Oh, wow. She's saying you're going to leave me for Hannah, basically? For a trophy wife? Wow. That's messed up.
That's it, isn't it? You're going to leave poor Amy Lorraine and go after the next rich, pretty blonde that you see.
Now this is a mistake.
All these years, guilt has been my driving force. I felt so guilty for what I did, what I didn't do.
She thinks she can guilt me into being complacent, but she realizes otherwise as I pull my hand away from her. And going by the look of anger on her face, an anger that runs cold, she did not like the fact that I'm not some puppet on a string. Had she chosen her words carefully, I would have accepted whatever punishment Lorraine chose to give me. Guilt had run my life, and it might have very well ended it. Because I deserved it.
But what I did to me. The blood in my hands is mine, not yours.
Right. Whoever or whatever this shadow is, my gut tells me that it's not Lorraine. Yeah, I definitely think your gut is 100% correct there, Marianne. Yet I keep talking as if she is real.
I broke your heart, not your neck.
Don't you dare deny it! It was your fault!
Because I loved you more than I dared to admit? Yes, that was my fault. But I never meant to hurt you like that.
Despite my words, no matter how sincere they are, she appears angry. Enraged, in fact. She's getting pissed. It's been years since I last saw her face, and even now, the memory is still etched deeply in my mind. The hurt, the tears, and the hate spilling from her eyes that day, the moment I rejected her. I rejected myself for who I am. And she definitely will hate what I'm about to do next. To my left, a wine rack. And from there, I take a bottle and pray all to the saints that I can remember. For all my sins. For every hurtful word that I've ever uttered. For what I have driven her to do that day. What I forced her into.
What are you doing?
I do it without even thinking twice. Quickly, before I can hesitate, I grab a bottle and send it straight towards that mirror. Shards of the bottle in the mirror are sent flying everywhere as Lorraine screams echo into the cellar. Bitter. Searing. Like every wounding accusation she hurled at me. They've never left me, and I doubt that they ever will. But with this, I can move away from them, and from her. I can live my life as I should, free from these burdens. From her burden. Because the Lorraine I know, the real one, the person that I loved, will never want me carrying this with my death. As the screaming dies down, I can't help but mutter weakly.
It's done. It's done.
Alright, so we unlock the achievement Mirror, Mirror on the Wall.
Oh, Lorraine. Forgive me, Lorraine.
Okay. I take some time to compose myself, breathing in and out, tamping down on the tremors still racking my hands, straightening out of my jacket, and fixing my hair. All a weak attempt at returning myself to someone resembling my normal self. This would probably be easier to do with a mirror, but I likely won't be able to stand looking at one for a long time. Yeah, understandably.
Well now, I should probably go back up there. Party to attend, rich socialites to do business with, and food to eat. Mrs. Wright will be happy if I make some time for it anyway.
Right? Yet one last time to the shattered glass beneath my feet.
I'm sorry, Lorraine. May you see God's light on the path.
Turning around to leave, and for good this time, the uneasy smile on my face falls as I see Lorraine, whole and well.
Come on, Mac. You really didn't think it would be that easy, did you? You get bonus points for trying. But you should know innate charisma is not enough to turn undead.
Wow, see, I thought we were done. I thought she had handled Lorraine. But Lorraine's back, so breaking the mirror with a wine bottle was not enough. Maybe she didn't roll the natural 20 she needed to get rid of Lorraine. I don't know. Speaking her D&D terms. She advances towards me and backs me against the wall. I can't even reach for another wine bottle without putting myself within her reach. And despite my earlier bravado, I didn't think she'd be able to exist at all without that mirror. Can you blame me though? It's not like I'm an expert at the supernatural. Yeah, for sure.
That's not. You shouldn't be.
What? After the mirror? Did you think just moving on will erase what you did to me? You're nothing but a murderer, Marianne. A murderer!
Oh my.
Stay back. You're not real. Leave me alone. Stop. I'm trying to move on with my life, so why won't you let me?
Yeah, that's really sad. It's sad and horrifying as well.
Please, just get out of my head and leave me be.
I try to find an exit when there's a click. The next thing I know, I'm falling back into the darkness. Oh no. I fall on my back and a door slams shut behind me. In a daze, I look around warily and find myself in another room entirely. On the other side of the wall, some sort of secret passage perhaps, an underground tunnel that has me wary and frightened. It also proves the oddities in the mansion's floor plans are a lot more than just a little discrepancies. I expect Lorraine to jump out at me from the darkness at any time. A breeze blowing through the tunnel has relieved me though, and the idea that it is there is still a way to escape should that happen. That is way better than being trapped underground with only God knows what that was. A funny thought comes to my mind as I start walking to where the exit just might be. I think about how Miss Wright would be so disappointed if I didn't show up to her party. I imagine how furious Mr. Wright would be for me breaking one of his wine bottles. Oh my. And even Johanna's reaction comes to mind, although I don't really know what's up with that guy. One thing's for sure is that I would be calling Cam and Hirana for a drink as soon as I get out of here. Oh boy. And that noise has me wary. Yeah, I think it should. A ghastly thing. A corpse of a woman leans on the wall. Her arms and limbs, almost every inch of her little body, is peppered with wounds and rotting flesh. And it is then that the putrid smell of blood and gore hits me, making it so that I don't even question how I missed it in the first place.
How long has this been here? Ugh, that smell. Oh, you're a nasty one, aren't you?
Huh. I flinch as the thing twitches. Yeah, look at that face. And as soon as it opens its eyes and looks at me with a smile, there is nothing on my mind but absolute horror. Now, I would not be staying anywhere near that thing. I break into a run. There you go. I try to keep on running no matter how much my legs and feet scream for me to stop. I keep going even when I look back and see nothing of her anymore, because I can still hear her. The scampering of her feet, and the words she tries to form with her bloodied mouth, and the painful sounds of bones grinding against each other as she moves closer and closer to me.
How long are these damn tunnels?
There's a split second where I know that thing is right behind me, a strange sensation creeping over my limbs when her presence looms over me. And then suddenly, I can't even do anything before I'm yanked by the hair and pulled back. Still, I struggle, up until I'm thrown to the side like some sort of a rag doll. I hit the ground on my side, and the musty smell of old hay that reaches me is the only indication that I'm even still alive.
Please don't hurt me.
My body hurts, and I keep my eyes shut tight, afraid of what might happen next. This is horrifying.
What's wrong, Marianne? Are you really afraid of little old me?
There's only dread, seeing how she's followed me even here. She looms over me, backs me further into the cell that I was thrown into.
Please. It's so cold. I don't want to be alone, Marianne. Why won't you stay with me? Why would you leave me? Why? What are you?
Yeah, exactly. It's so creepy. Lorraine turns and shifts into that theme from before. Right here. I'm lying. And with that same gruesome grin, it takes a step towards the cell. Towards me. I barely scramble to my knees when the door to the cell just slams shut. And it just stands there, staring. It just stands there staring. Shouts for help rings out in the tunnels. But none of them are coming for me. I'm more paralyzed and shocked by what is happening here. My throat tightens as being fooled by the image of Lorraine at the thought of being trapped down here. So then, where?
Help me! Oh, help me! Are you getting all this on camera, Carl? Yeah, but are you guys sure this is a good idea? We're breaking and entering here. Don't worry, the owners of this place haven't been here in a long time. Look at this thing, though! It has writing in blood like some cheesy 80s horror prop. Wait, I have an idea.
Wow.
Oh man, that's genius!
What kind of butthead would even take this thing seriously? Maybe we can stick this in Rowan's backpack. That's where his kid would panic.
Guys? What? Spit it out! Behind you!
Yeah, that's freaky. There, in the corners of the cell, a digital camera comes flickering to life and a video has played back on the screen. Oh my god. It was hard to even consider paying attention to it when my life here is on the line. But when the ghost doesn't move and the teenager's mocking shouts of "help me" filled the cell, I just had to watch. And what I had seen, students judging by their St. Goretti uniforms. They were holding...
That letter!
Yep. And that thing, the woman, she... Oh boy. Wow. Rebecca. Alright guys, a little bit shorter one, but that was the end of the point of view for Marianne. So a little bit shorter part here. We're about a little over 40 minutes in. But guys, before we get into the point of view of Rebecca, we're in the last 3 chapters now of the actual visual novel. There's a total of 7 chapters in the actual visual novel, and it looks like 7 points of view. So before we get into Rebecca and her whole point of view, we're going to go ahead and wrap this stream up right here. And this has been part 15 in live stream number 307. So I hope you guys are enjoying this, guys. I thought this wrapped it up pretty neat. But there's still a lot of answers and a lot of things that make you go, that hopefully we get some answers to by the end of this visual novel. So I think we still got many hours to play in this visual novel. We're 16, 17 hours in now. We probably still have another 13 or 14 would be my guess. So yeah, we have plenty of content to play. So be sure you comment down below, guys. Let me know what you guys think of the letter so far. And hopefully you're enjoying it. Let me know if you're enjoying it, especially if you are enjoying it. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, guys. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Peace, everybody. Take care.